Lovely. Hello and welcome to episode 153 of the PARO Pod with your boys, myself, Owen, and you, sir.
Mark.
There we go. 153 introductions, nailing them every single time.
Every single one, not a single one that wasn't nailed.
Yeah.
To some extent.
Even last week's or last episode's was intentional with the bad audio.
It was perfectly imperfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
all
that
the
was,
right ways.
Yeah, it was intentional. Analog recording, you know?
Yeah.
We could explore.
That's a word.
Yeah, analog podcasting. We could explore using vinyls.
Start using tape.
Start using tape. Yeah, 8 tracks.
Yeah. Send them out to everyone's post.
Yeah. Just send them around the area. Would that be illegal? I don't know.
I don't know. If Bono and U2 could, automatically download an album to your
That's true.
iPod, I feel like why can't we just...
Well, we could just airdrop our podcast to everyone in the area.
Yeah. You know,
I gotta get in a bus and just share it with everybody.
Here's my mixtape. It's my podcast.
Please listen. 2.5 hours about the substance or whatever. About Lamora. What the fuck is that?
What is this? How do I play this? I had it. So there's some kid in the shop today, and he was like, "I want to get one of those things that you put your earphones into." And I was like,
"We don't have that."
I was like, "What?" And he's like, "You put your earphones into it, and you can control the music." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "Oh, you're looking for just wired earphones with the notch on." And he goes "Yeah," and I was like, "Okay, cool." And I started typing in headphones, and he goes, "Oh, I think they're called an iPod." I was like, "What? This is something completely different."
This has to be a wind up. That has to be a wind up. Surely. I think it's called an iPod. What age is this guy?
Yeah, he was 7.
7. Okay, fair enough. What was he doing in CEX?
No, correction. I think he's either making his communion or confirmation. So he was one age of the other.
Oh, okay, yeah. Where's his parent?
He's with his nanny.
He's with his nanny, so his nanny had to breeze either.
His nanny just started laughing. I'm like, "You fucking idiot." It was because he was there describing it for 2 minutes. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, can't the nanny pitch in?
And then at the last second, he goes, "Oh, iPods." He goes "Oh, that's what you meant, right?"
Yeah. That's mad. iPods are forgotten technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mad. When will they you had an iPod?
Yeah, I still have one.
You still have your iPod,
So
yeah.
I'm going to use it way more now because
It's coming back in.
I got that car, and that car does not have Bluetooth.
You got the... Wait, so what does it have?
It's got an aux cable.
Oh, yeah.
And a radio.
That's pretty cool.
And a CD player.
But you can get one of those Bluetooth radios.
I was also thinking I could get... There's aux to Bluetooth receptors.
Is it?
They're a thing, yeah. They're a thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you plug the aux
into the Bluetooth receptor,
and then
you connect to your phone. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very cool. Yeah, that's a way around it. Or you could mod it out with subwoofers at the back.
Go pimp my ride.
Yeah. Just bombing it around the area with death grips.
I think
just blasted.
Yeah. Oh man, let me tell you.
Just shaking the windows of every gaff you pass.
Did you watch Pimp My Ride when you were younger?
No, I didn't.
No.
I didn't catch it.
I always remember one episode where they put a cinnamon into someone's
car.
Into someone's car. I was like, that's the coolest thing ever, man. I wish that was my car. And then you look back and you're like, that is wildly impractical. Their half your car is just fucking useless. You can't use it for you can't put people in that car.
Yeah, I used to always I always thought it was cool how American movies back in the day they'd have the pull down DVD things.
Yes.
I think I was in one of those cars before and I thought it was crazy. I think we rented the car for a day or something in France or something like that. And I thought it was amazing, but we didn't have anything to play it on. But I was always like to my dad, you should get one of those cars with the DVD things that come that are attached to the back of the headrest or whatever. Such a stupid idea. Imagine you still had that car.
Oh man,
because that was in 2009. You can still drive that car, but it's you got fucking Teletubby car seats or whatever. It'd just be so stupid.
I remember. I can't remember who it was, but when I used to play rugby, used to play in Clontarf, so some of the families, pretty rich.
Yeah.
One person gave me a lift to a game, and I think it was a Land Rover or something like that he was driving, but he had a mini TV that was just slightly behind the driver's head, that would play films and stuff like that.
Mm.
So we went to the match like watching fucking Shrek 2 or whatever the fuck it was.
Get
I was
pumped
like,
up with the final
and I was
scene.
like, man,
Let's go.
I was like, this is the coolest thing ever.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Cars
But,
with TVs, what a concept.
but how do you see what's behind you as the driver?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
He's in a Range Rover. He doesn't have to worry about what's
I
behind him.
suppose, yeah. He just reverses without looking.
They gotta worry about him.
Yeah, true. Tanks. Absolute tanks.
Absolute monsters.
Yeah.
Not as monstrous though as our recommended film for this episode, The Substance, 2024. Carolee
Carolee Fergie or something like that.
Farjeet.
Coralie. Fergie.
Right.
How do you actually pronounce it?
I have
Fergie.
no idea. I feel like this is a name that I should know because I'm pretty sure she was nominated for like multiple Oscars last year.
Sounds French.
Does sound French.
Carolee
I'm almost certain she
Fargeat.
is, but wait on.
Fergies.
Let me tell you where she's from. She is a French director. First line. So
Of course she's French. Look at the movie.
Yeah, no, yeah. This is
This
a
is
movie
so
like this
French.
could only be made by a French person.
Yeah.
A fading celebrity decides to use a black market drug, a cell-replicating substance that temporarily creates a younger, better version of herself. That's a very
succinct.
and it like doesn't tell you anything about that movie really,
Not at all. Yeah.
but also everything you need to know.
It's a taster. It's a taster. The Substance. Would you take The Substance? Would you be on The Substance? I'm on The Substance currently.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm the Substance version of myself right now.
That's why we do this every 2 weeks.
It's on the Wednesday then afterwards
Yeah.
that we have to. Well, we're actually recording on a Wednesday, but
This is actually the shit version, fucked up version myself, and then I
that's
I
why
become
every second episode's really good. Is this gonna be the good one or the bad one? I don't know yet.
Well, you can see the pattern.
Yeah.
AP. But yeah. We'll find out. Interesting movie. Lot to talk about.
A movie with
Demi Moore.
oh man, Demi Moore's so good.
Oh yeah, she is.
And a movie with like a shocking amount of ass.
An illegal amount of ass.
Man, there was
It's ridiculous.
so much ass in that movie.
I would say this is a horny movie. It was really not a horny movie. You know, it's just like a. Or it's not like a. I don't know. We can get into that
We can
later.
get into it later, yeah,
But
yeah.
like it's just.
We can talk about the awkward boners that this movie gave us.
Yeah, there's so much content to get into there.
Oh
yeah.
man,
Dive deep with us later on.
don't know how to move on now. Oh god, right. Speaking about awkward, Mark, you watched The Rehearsal season 2.
Oh, I
or
did.
are watching The Rehearsal season 2.
The Rehearsal, yeah. So that's Nathan Fielder's new show. It's new in the sense that it's 2 years old. But he had one season. What was it, 2 years ago? And he's come out with another season. This year it's currently screening every Sunday on HBO.
Nice.
So it should be. I think is it available here at all? Actually, HBO Max is not available here.
No, it's not. So you gotta watch.
Now TV.
It's Now TV probably.
Yeah, because I remember I watched the first season on Now TV.
I also watched the first season on Now TV.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember I didn't because Nathan Fielder. Nathan for You is a work of art, a true work of art.
I haven't even watched that much of it, and I love it.
It's so man. You should watch. The rest of it.
I should
so
just
good.
I should watch. I never watched that Finding Francis.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
You have to watch that.
There's like
That's
so
a
many,
great one.
but I've seen so many clips and stuff like that I've watched. I've
Yeah,
watched
you
all of it,
watched
but I've
it,
never
yeah.
actually watched it. I think it's like one of my favorite TV shows. I haven't watched it properly. Like.
It's worth watching altogether. But I was kind of the same. I got into it way back in the day, watching clips on the YouTube on the Comedy Central YouTube channel, and they just like it was the UK version. It wasn't aired in UK or Ireland at the time, so they just upload like 6-7 minute clips, which is like half an episode.
Yeah,
and you
they're
just watch the
basically
episodes like that.
they're basically like entire segments of the show just uploaded.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a brilliant show. Nice and self-contained. Every episode was just nice and it was like less than half an hour. It was perfect. And then yeah, he's kind of I think he ended that a few years ago in like 2018 or something. And then he came out with The Rehearsal. The Rehearsal is like a much more like grandiose HBO version of. It's like an art school version of Nathan For You, basically. You know, where it's even more meta, and it's even more like. It's him as a comedian, manipulating social situations, and not in a Sacha Baron Cohen way where it's just like a lot of stupid racism or and like whatever else, like just like silly accents and stuff like that. It's about it's social experiments, but like actual social experiments. The first season was I have to say I don't remember a lot about it.
Yeah, we were saying this before. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't find it. I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't find it very memorable.
I remember moments.
I remember like random moments. I know what it is about, or at least I think based on what we're saying, it was mainly driven by the plot line of the woman that wanted to have a baby, and then it's Nathan's like kind of pilots it for her, living as her husband in her house with a child, and then they replace the child every now and then to simulate the passage of time, which is a funny concept, but then it's not actually funny when you're watching it, but then it's like amusing the interactions that are happening.
I think there's a bit where like he fakes the kid's death or something like that as well.
Yeah, the kid dies and they have to grapple with the fact that the kid has passed away, and it's not funny at all. You're not laughing, but you're like, this is it's ridiculous, amusing concept. Yeah.
I think with the rehearsal, there's a massive blend of like how much of this is fiction and how much of this is reality. I think that was a major part of it.
Yeah. And and he'll explicitly talk about, like, at the end of Nathan For You, he'll do an episode about like making a frozen yogurt that tastes like shit, and then like the whole thing is he's trying to scam people into like eating this shit flavored ice cream, and it turns out it doesn't work, and it goes under. And the comedy is based on his interactions with the owner, who he's convinced to try this stupid thing.
Oh, there's so many fucking asexual like computer repair people.
yeah. They're brilliant. The one with the movement. The guy who does the.
On fucking TV and everything.
Yeah, they're actually on TV. It's like he was eaten by baboons. He was a jungle child.
Fuck, Jesus.
Oh, it's just those. It's those interactions. That's the basis of the comedy. I think our tech survived.
Jesus, I gotta be careful of that.
And then at the end of an episode, it'd be like, well, what did we learn here? What was the lesson? And the lesson's like just kind of like a tangential point, being like, oh well, maybe the real shit flavored ice cream is consumerism or whatever. And then, but in Rehearsal, it's the theses that he comes up with, or that are kind of the conclusions of whatever his experiment,
whatever the fuck these experiments,
whatever his experiments are, they then lead into something else, and it's like that's the narrative. The narrative is like pieced together through those weird kind of observations that he's making.
I think the thing with the rehearsal is like how much of life can you rehearse, and it just kept going and going and going.
Yeah.
Until like, oh, you are actually causing harm now, aren't Nathan, to some people?
Yeah. And this one has a. I think one of the people involved has brought them to court, because basically this second season is about airline safety. So it's about an issue that he found. Well, he says he was doing a lot of research, and he was looking into something that could do a lot of good for the second season of the show, and he was saying that he wanted to save lives and stuff like that. And when he was looking at the black box recordings and the transcripts of cockpit interactions before crashes, like airplane crashes, he found that the common thread was miscommunication. And so the whole thing is like, how can we improve miscommunication? And then it's about rehearsing those interactions, identifying why co-pilots don't want to speak up against their senior captains or whatever. How a pilot lives his life, what exactly, like he recreates an airport terminal and has like puts his bar from the first rehearsal inside it as well. Is Rehearsal's one where he has the quiz, or is that a different one?
Yes, that is
quiz. Yeah, that was an amazing one.
I think that's the first episode.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
The one where he's like he gets all the answers, or he like drops all the answers in the interactions that they have just before they go into the bar. That's that's an amazing episode. But he brings that bar back, rebuilds it, and reconstructs it inside an airport terminal for the pilots to hang out in.
Like nearly certain as well that he recreates that bar like later on in the first season for some fucking weird reason as well.
Yeah.
It's like the bar is inside another bar or something like that.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like the the budget doesn't seem to be limited at all, because like the sets they
He's got
build
that
are
HBO money.
huge. Yeah. Like an entire airport terminal. There's a point where, like I won't get into it because I probably wouldn't actually remember how he got to that conclusion. Or no, sorry, because he's talking about airline safety and all those things, rehearsing the lives of pilots. What why they feel they lack self-confidence, why they feel that they can't talk about their own struggles, speak to their colleagues, but also speak about their own mental health, things like that. And then he takes up the example of, remember the Hudson ditch landing where your man Sully drives into the Hudson River, and he rescued everybody. And then he spends an episode reading through the pilot's autobiography and identifying, like, you know, what were the key moments in his life, how did he find the solution where so many other pilots didn't, where he was able to invite feedback from his co-pilot. Because he goes, just before they go for the ditch, he's like, you got any ideas? Whereas no other, if it's in a crash, the transcript, the pilot isn't asking for that feedback typically. And so to try to get into the mindset of the pilot Sully, he relives his entire life from when he was born, in these giant sets where he starts out as a baby and then slowly over time becomes, you know, a teenager, and then he becomes a young adult, and it's him hanging out with the other pilots and being a bit of an outcast because he's by the book, but he's also holding things inside, and deeply repressed because he's a man and he's just trying to sort things out. It's a great episode.
Fucking damn it!
It's so elaborate. The sets are really cool. Like the visual gags are great. Like it's actually, it's funny. It's very, very funny. It's only 3 episodes in.
Okay, so it's still early.
Oh, sorry, there's 4 episodes actually.
It'd be like 7. It'd probably be like, I think the first season was like 9 episodes.
Yeah.
9?
And like saying that, you know, I don't really remember the first rehearsal. I feel like I loved the first few episodes, and then I really fell off following it.
It's only when you're describing the Sully thing, I forgot about the episode in season 1 where he's trying to understand the actors that he hires.
Yeah.
So
the Nathan Fielder method. He brings that back in. He's like, I trained them all in the Nathan Fielder method.
So he befriends. He like stages a fake like acting gig, and then befriends one of them, and then goes to the guy's house, and then recreates his house in as a set. Oh fuck it, yeah. Jesus, yeah. No, I'm remembering certain, but there's the bit where I think the same guy has to talk to his dad or something like that.
Yeah. There's a little sketch in this one where he's trying to. It's a prelude to him taking on Sully's life and starting out as a baby, where he's trying to see how you can it's the premise of the show, how far you can rehearse something, or how much you can rehearse something to actually, you know, kind of simulate the real thing. And he finds this couple who have 3 dogs, but they're all clones of a dog that previously died called Achilles. But the 3 dogs, they're genetically identical and they look the exact same as Achilles, but their personalities are completely different because their upbringing is different. The couple that they've moved on their life, they used to live in a small apartment, now they live in a big house. The mom used to always be at home, or the wife used to always be at home. Now she's not.
Yeah.
So he recreated to a T a set of their old apartment with all like the same dishes and all. And they show them looking around the apartment, and they're just like, what the hell? This is the exact model of TV that we had. This is the same remote. And he puts 2 actors who are trained in the Nathan Fielder method to play the husband and wife, and they put one of the clone dogs in there. And you know, they account for the fact that Achilles would have lived with 2 cats, whereas the 3 new dogs, the clones, don't live with cats. To put 2 cats in there, and they see that the dog picking up on, you know, the relationship cues and the personality cues and the habits of the actors and the cats around them. The dog slowly begins to take on some of the kind of the habits and you know, the affectations of the original dog, and they show it to the original owners, and they're like crying because they're like, that's exactly what he would do. That's exactly it. But so fucked up. It's so fucked up, but it's so funny though, because like the dogs are just running around like shitting on the floor and all. I was like, this is what Achilles would do and all. It's like it's still very funny, but there is that weird border like a
There's
grey
there's
area.
a massive ethical question with everything he does.
Yeah. Less so with the Nathan For You stuff. I think was very clear cut. It's just like this is just funny.
Yeah, it's funny. This is like
social like
social engineering, and I don't know how I feel
Yeah.
about it.
yeah, like there's a person that was participating in this season is apparently, I don't know if that's true, if is a part of the ad campaign for the season, but she's bringing them to court for I think $20,000 because one of the sketches in the season, and there's like fucking 50, even though there's only 4 episodes, but there's one like every 10 minutes. One of the sketches involves he wants the pilots to be able to openly express their feelings. So he wants them to get used to providing honest feedback. So he sets up a fake talent show called Wings of Voice, which is judged only by aircraft pilots. So it's only pilots and co-pilots. They're the judges instead of like Simon Cowell and Sharon Osbourne or whatever. And he there's an actual like call for talent, and there's a big line of people, and he gets them all to come in. Has all the pilots in each room, and they all have to, yes or no, and they have to say no. Like a lot of the people are terrible, and they have to be like, you're just not good enough. Like he wants to break them down like that and actually give the honest feedback. But one girl saw the call for people to kind of try out for this thing, and she traveled from LA to New York or wherever it is, and back and forth a few times. She spent 20 grand
I think that's
trying to
low.
attend this fake talent show. But to be fair, it was obviously fake. But if it's real, I do completely sympathize with her, because like
I kind of sympathize with her a little bit. I feel like they
sympathize
probably
with
should
her.
have reimbursed her.
They should,
afterwards.
100%. Yeah. But like, it's funny though.
It is funny.
It's still pretty funny.
Also-
But I also feel bad for her.
Also, it's kind of on you for
Yeah.
flying back and forth between LA and New York for a talent show being judged by pilots.
Airline pilots.
I feel like that's kind of on you.
And you could only sing public domain songs, because otherwise they'd have to pay for the copyright on the TV show. So they're all just singing like Star Spangled Banner, and Yankee Doodle. It's good. It's funny. It's good. It's worth a watch, definitely.
No, I'm
And
definitely.
it's nice and short. Like they're only 40 minutes.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna watch it. I watched season 1 with I watched the first episode with Melissa, and then I told my mom you should watch it, and then she watched the first episode, and then texted me late at night being like, "This is the most fucked up thing I've ever watched in my entire life," and then proceeded to watch the next 2 episodes. So me and Melissa watched the next 2 episodes, and then the next day we just sat down and watched the whole thing, and my mom was not okay afterwards.
Yeah.
But she'd never seen anything from Nathan For You. This was her first Nathan thing.
I'd say if you're going in cold, he just seems like a bit of a prick.
Oh, I think with him, it's like, I don't know, like, how his brain functions. I don't know how he thinks of these things,
Yeah.
or like the way he looks at the world is very
It's
disturbing.
very clever.
It's very disturbing.
It's disturbing as well. Yeah.
But God, it makes good TV.
Yeah, it's original, interesting, and it is funny. At least these first 4 episodes are.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll definitely give it a watch. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Have I been watching anything that's like? I'm watching The Last of Us, another HBO show. It's pretty good.
Season 2, is it?
Season 2.
Mm.
Yeah. Are you watching that at all?
I watched the first few episodes of the first one, then I just kind of fell off
Yeah, fair.
a bit.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, I feel like season 2 is like, because people are like, oh, season 2 is like such a massive drop off. It's like, yeah, because like the game isn't.
if you played both games, yeah.
No, I started the game and I was like, oh, I'm not playing this. I played it for like an
Yeah.
hour and a half. I was like, I'm not playing this fucking game. Like,
Is it really like I don't know, story driven? It's like
Yeah.
a lot of
It's
cutscenes and all.
fucking boring is what it is.
Yeah.
I found the first hour and a half so boring, and I knew what was gonna happen in the
Mhm.
story. I know like how it all plays out, and I was like, oh, I just like I don't want to play this. And then started watching it. And I was like, maybe they'll do something different. And I don't think they are. I think that the end of this TV show will be the same ending as the game, which is dog shit. It's a terrible ending.
Joel dies. Is it?
Joel dies in like the first second episode.
Oh, does he?
So the whole season is about he's died, and then Ellie wants to go and revenge him, and then you have Abby, who's with her fucking clan,
Mhm.
and they inevitably fight or whatever. And what's gonna happen is that Ellie picks off one by one of her closest friends, and then spoilers for whenever the TV show is gonna end. The whole message is about like revenge isn't worth it. Revenge isn't worth it. And then at the last moment, Ellie decides, oh, you know what? I will spare Abby, thus rendering the entire everything that they've done completely fucking pointless. And it could have been the same message if she kills her or not. It's the same message regardless.
Yeah, yeah.
And it just like falls completely flat. So I'm looking forward to being disappointed by this TV show because they're not going to change it. They're going to do the exact same thing.
Well, do you think they would want to extend it into season 3? Is there already
what they're going to do is because when you play the game, you play half the game as Ellie, and then the second half of the game you play as Abby. So this season is going to be the Ellie bit, and then season 3 is going to be the Abby side of things.
Oh right, yeah, yeah.
Which I don't think super works because it's going to be
the same story.
It's going to be this. It's not the same story, but it's like the same. The end will probably be the same. Like I feel like season 2 will end on like moments before Ellie like comes to like kill her or something like that, and then it will flash back and we'll see Abby's thing. But I don't think that's gonna work because then it's like, oh, remember those characters that that Ellie killed like 3 years ago in like real life? They had feelings. They had lives and feelings.
It's like who?
Yeah, who? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You mean that guy that I hated and she killed him? I was okay with that like 3 years ago. I don't care about that now. I don't think it's gonna work.
When did the first season came out a while ago though? 2021, 2021.
Wait, what year are we in? 2025? Yeah, it came out 2023. Came out 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. 2 years is still too long.
Yeah, it is.
Should be at most a year.
Especially for like I don't know, something like with TV shows like this. I feel like TV shows should be like year on year. Although was there something affecting this with the SAG strikes maybe?
Yeah, but like just generally speaking, they take fucking years. Like, see, it was a Wednesday is coming out. There's a new Wednesday.
I mean, Stranger Things is the ultimate.
Stranger Things. All the kids are like fucking 30 years old.
Yeah,
and aren't they still children?
They're still meant to be children, and it's
crazy.
I think it's already been 3 years since last season come out, and the next season will come out. I think next year or the year after.
Yeah, is it split in 2 parts or something like that? They did something stupid,
something like that.
And it's like every episode's like 4 hours longer. So it's
every episode's 2 hours long, 2.5 hours. I was like, I'm not watching that.
No one's watching that.
I'm not watching that.
Not a single person's gonna watch all that. You know, like actually pay attention to it beyond the background of loads of like homes where people are making dinner. You know, I don't think people are gonna be sitting down and watching 2.5 hours
of a TV show.
Show.
Okay, come on,
it's like 5 movies or whatever. Fuck that. Better things to be doing. Better things to be doing, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. Like watching Akira Kurosawa movies.
Yes.
Everyone should watch. Just spend their time watching Kurosawa movies. I watched Rashomon, which I think is like his like first like real big movie. Could be wrong on that. Have you ever seen this movie?
Nope.
Do you know what it's about?
Samurais.
It's about a like murder occurs. A woman is kidnapped and raped, and her husband is murdered. And we see the story from the bandit's perspective, the woman's perspective, and the dead man's perspective. There's like a
ghost character.
Like what's what are they called when they can you can talk to the dead?
Like a medium.
A medium, yeah. There's a medium in it, and she speaks for the dead man. And the whole I always hear the thing about this movie is like, oh, this created the Rashomon effect, where it's about like how people don't remember things as how they happened.
Yeah.
Because each one of the stories is different. Which I think people that think that that's what this movie is about are completely misunderstanding what is actually happening in this movie.
Yeah.
It's not that people don't remember what happened. It's that people tell stories about what happened that puts themselves in a good light.
Yeah.
Or makes themselves try to look better or convey something about themselves. That's what's actually happening in this movie. It's not how you remember it.
Yeah. It's Yeah, how your memories reflect who you are, rather
Yes.
than just glitches in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and even like the lie, like, because there's like 4 versions that we're told, which is the bandit, the woman, the man, and then there's a 4th character who sees what everything that happens, and he tells another story, and that is. I would argue that is the definitive, like, what he tells in the end is what happened,
Mm-hmm.
but it's revealed that there's like a court hearing, and that's how we're hearing like all these versions of the stories. The fella that sees what happens doesn't come forward to speak, and the reason why he doesn't come forward to speak is because he stole something that was in the grounds, and that's then revealing something about him. So his omission of truth is again telling something about him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the film's about. It's really, oh man, like, Kurosawa is just, it's like, this is like a 90-minute movie, and it flies by, even though you're like basically seeing the same story 4 different times. It's so good. It's even like the way that like like shows things about the bandit character, for example. The way that he tells the story is, I seduced her, and then she asked me to fight her husband, and I fought him, and I absolutely like smoked him. I obliterated him, and then she ran away because she was frightened by how fucking big my muscles were. The way she tells the story is, she was the one that killed her husband because the husband started being really mean to her afterwards, being like, "Oh, you're soiled, you're sullied, you're disgusting." And the bandit just like, fucks off. Then the dead man story is, she told the bandit to kill me, and the bandit was like, "This woman is disgusting. I would never kill an unarmed man." And then the husband kills himself because of how sad he is.
Oh God.
And then the last story is that's not happening at all. The bandit and the husband had an embarrassing fight where they were both terrified from each other, and then the woman did something. I can't remember the exact details of it. But it's just showing you like each one of the stories of the bandit, the wife, and the husband is showing like how they want to be portrayed. The bandit wants to be seen super cool. The wife wants to be seen as like, that her husband was horrible and that she was mistreated completely. Having said that, it is the one, like, she was raped. Like, that's like the canonical story is like this happened to her.
This is like, okay, fair enough.
There's a bit of there's a weird gender thing in this movie.
The 50s.
It's the 50s in Japan.
Yeah.
There's a
there's a lot of weird things happening back then.
And like a lot of it is like, women can't really be trusted and stuff like that. Like, this is a bit weird, but okay. And I was reading comments and people were like, "Oh no, this is just Kurosawa like showing what it was like at the time." I don't think so. I think it's just some weird like.
No, he's showing what it was like at the time. You don't get it.
You don't get it.
You don't get it, man.
I don't know.
He was actually critical of it, even though he doesn't mention any of that stuff.
Even though like there's no critique to it like at all.
Yeah.
And then obviously the husband wants to be portrayed as like, "Oh, poor me, everything was taken from me." Even though my wife is the one that really suffered throughout all this thing.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that is about, don't know, but it's incredibly well shot. It's super well acted. It has the craziest eyebrows in any movie I've ever seen. The eyebrows in this movie are ridiculous. Some people have so much eyebrow, and other people have no eyebrows. It's
Really? No eyebrows.
No eyebrow. There's one person that has like just like this. Like if you were to shave half your eyebrow and then shave half of that half, that is that person's eyebrows. Just like little dots.
That's mad. Yeah. Do you think people is it a thing in any culture where they I suppose in Japan it must be that they would style the eyebrows.
Yeah, I presume so.
How would you style an eyebrow?
I
suppose you do. It's people do the slits down it as well.
Yeah, eyebrows are so expressive though, so
yeah, you need them.
So maybe that's why it's a cool way to style yourself, is to do weird things with your eyebrows.
Yeah, just start freaking people out.
Yeah, like,
Those dots are moving. Dots are flying all over.
Maybe I should like cut my eyebrows so there's just like a series of like disconnected squares,
like a barcode.
Yeah. I look sick.
Yeah, like an ellipses. It's like my brain. It's a reflection of my mind. Fill the gap.
See through the gap. But yeah, it's like there's not like this is like one of the most famous movies of all time.
Yeah, was this remade, or was that Seven Samurai? Yeah, it was Seven Samurai. Was this not remade in a?
This probably was remade
in a blasphemous way.
At least the idea. I definitely think that the idea of like, an event happens and then you see different sides of the story. Is that The Last Duel? I never watched The Last Duel.
Is that the Netflix one?
That's the Ridley Scott one that came out like a few years ago.
Yeah, with Matt Damon.
Yes.
Yeah, I never watched that.
I never watched it either, but I think like it's similar. I think it's a similar thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is the same story where like the wife gets raped and then they have a duel and they fight, and then you see the story told from like three perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if it's the same. It's the same thing where like they're telling the story. I think it's like you literally see the story from three different perspectives.
Oh right, yeah.
And the context changes or something like that.
That sounds like something he would do.
Yeah,
it's like a pointless, like remake that completely misses the original
thing.
point. But he doesn't care.
No,
you know?
He's really Scott.
Apparently, Hoodwinked is a remake of Rashomon.
Hoodwink might be better than Rashomon. I don't know. I haven't seen that movie in a while, but it could be.
Very, very possible.
Very likely.
Likely, yeah.
Likely,
yeah,
even.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. There's a bit at the end of this movie where like one of the core like messages in the film is something like, even when they don't have to, men will lie and lie and lie in order to try and improve how they look or something like that. Even when it's completely unnecessary, human beings will still do that.
Yeah.
We will do that.
That's true.
Yeah, it's like very bleak outlook on human nature. But then at the end, there's a baby that randomly shows up, and then the three characters that are talking about this whole event, take care of the baby, and you're just like, okay, well, there's some good in humans, I guess.
They move on, all right. It sounds interesting.
It is. It is. I don't know what the point of the baby is at the end, but everything else is really interesting. I feel like it's just because it would be a very like depressing movie if it just ended with humans lie all the time, and
but look at this baby.
Yeah, look at the baby. The babies are cute and it's saved now. So
the babies can't lie.
Babies can't lie.
Yeah, perfectly innocent creatures.
Maybe that could be it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the baby won't. Well, right now the baby won't lie.
Yeah, but it will. It'll learn to lie.
It will learn at some stage.
Off who though? Off its evil, fathers or whatever, and mothers. Yeah,
especially the mothers. That's what this movie taught me.
Yeah, bloody mothers.
Bloody mothers.
Lying.
Always lying. Oh. Can never be trusted.
Goddamn, Kurosawa. You got us again.
You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
Oh god, this movie's like again.
Where did you watch this?
I got it on DVD.
Oh, very cool.
On DVD. This is a purchase that was made for me by Liam.
Oh, cool.
Shout out to Liam.
Shout out to Liam.
Work Liam, not Liverpool Liam.
Liverpool Liam, got work Liam. It's The podcast is.
There's too many Liams.
It's going global.
Too many Liams in the world.
Too many Liams. Yeah.
I need to like forget some Liams.
We need a William.
I need a William. I don't know any Wills.
I've never met. I met one guy called Will, but his name wasn't actually Will.
They just called him Will.
Yeah, he just preferred to be called Will.
What was his name?
He had it was like an Eastern European name, so it was just simpler to call him Will.
I'll allow it.
But he's not a real Will.
He's not a real Will. I want a William.
That's kind of bad.
You're not an authentic. That name don't belong to you.
Yeah. But I'd never met a William in my life. Yeah.
I say they're all pricks. Anyway, I didn't mean that. I'm really sorry.
This is such an aggressive episode, or segment of this episode.
If there's a William out there and they heard that, I'm really, really sorry. I'm sure you're lovely.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, men always lie. They always lie and they lie.
I just lied there.
Yeah.
That was what I just said there?
Just to improve our standing in the world. In case we ever run into a William.
Yeah, just gotta be careful. You watched Fréwaka.
Oh, I did.
Fréwaka.
I watched Fréwaka, which is it's just a phonetic translation of it's just a phonetic version of an Irish word, which is apparently like to strike. or like to something like that.
I wouldn't know.
I don't know. I'm not fluent in Irish. I'm not even like basic at Irish.
Yeah.
I'm not even. Yeah, I don't have.
I know to say hello and thank you.
Yeah, literally, Cúpla Focal is like literally 2 words. Like that's it. But yeah, I went to go see this with Orla. Irish language. Cinema. In the cinema. We watched it in Lighthouse.
Yeah. It's a big Lighthouse movie.
It's a Lighthouse movie, yeah. It was like, look around the crowd before it kicked off. I was like, this is the Lighthouse crowd.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the Lighthouse. And yeah, it's a film. It's an Irish produced folk horror movie set in the countryside, which was like, I can't remember where I found out about this movie, but like I heard the pitch and I was like, I'm there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm there. Like as soon as I can, I'm going to go see this movie. Yeah, it's in Irish. It's it's fully Irish produced. It's kind of part of that new wave. Like Commission to Man have come in and like a big part of their brief or their remit for their scope of work is to promote Irish language film. I think it's quite easy. I wouldn't say easy, but like it's a lot easier to get a film made if it's written in Irish, if it has Irish speaking actors, if it's being produced in an Irish speaking setting, because you get grants and stuff like that. So they're just trying to stimulate that kind of native production, and that's where we're seeing a bit more of them now coming into play. And they are for the most part. I haven't seen one that's bad. Like they're all really good. Like yeah, like Kneecap, was it Quiet Girl? Was that what it was called? This Colleen Kuhn, yeah. And then Fréwaka. Fréwaka kind of out of left field, folk horror, Oh,
it's good to see.
It's like in 2025, like it's good to see. It's like, where did they come up with that? So yeah, it's about a woman who is what would you even call her? She's like a care worker. She's from Dublin. She has a Dublin accent, I'm pretty sure. I think she's from Dublin. She has a Dublin accent anyway. Starts in Dublin, and she gets sent down to the countryside to look after an old woman who lives in the Gaeltacht. And the reason she's sent down there is because she's a Gaelgore. She needs to be able to communicate with this woman. And that's like a terrifying premise in the first instance as well. It's like city girl sent down to Ballygo backwards. That's my worst nightmare. I was shit myself from the minute I sat down. It was terrible. But like, it was. It's a good setup, very atmospheric. It kind of starts off with, it's in this like flat near Tower Street, Tower Street Station. I was like, that's the train station that I've been in. It's outside that window in the movie.
It's right beside O'Reilly's.
I've
been there.
I've been there a few times. And yeah, this woman commits suicide. It turns out the woman is
fucking hell.
Yeah, she commits suicide. Turns out
it's the fucking turn.
Yeah. And she lived in this old, it's like one of those old people houses. It's just like nothing's changed. She's an old person. She commits suicide. She's had a very rough life. And it's the mother of our main character, and then it's kind of being set up where she has to take all this stuff out of the apartment. It's a tough time for her. She's going through a lot family wise, and she's working with her partner. Her partner's a Ukrainian woman, and they're trying to. Her partner's trying to make it work. She's like, I'm here for you. Like, you need to open up about these things. She's like, fuck that. She's like Irish. She's like, I don't talk about those things. Feelings.
Yeah, keep that inside.
Yeah, I didn't get along with this woman. We didn't get along together. I don't owe her anything. Like, there's no need for me to grieve because there's nothing to grieve about. Didn't have much of a relationship. And yeah, so there's that whole idea of, the deep repression of the Irish psyche.
The trauma of the Irishman.
The Catholicism, a lot of Catholicism in this.
And Irish women.
And yeah, and how that ties into, like, is it Catholicism or is it just something that was always there? It's like, it's a bit of both. Bit of A, bit of B.
Bit of caused by the famine possibly as well.
Yeah. There's loads of stuff in there. And there is a kind of a separate story which then converges is when she goes down to meet the woman in the Gaeltacht. And this woman she has like dementia and she's like really confused and like she's received all these notes. But the care workers received all these notes about you need to give her pills like X times a day. She's prone to all these different things. But the woman doesn't want to be helped. She doesn't want to be helped up the stairs. She wants to live an independent life. She wants to keep smoking, all that stuff. So she's always pushing back. Proper Irish, you know. She's like, oh, I want to do my own thing. But it's also just an old person thing. But there's something really weird afoot in the town. I don't want to spoil the movie too much because it's. I think you should watch it because it is. And I haven't spoiled anything so far, but it's about. You know, how do I put it? It's about the cycles of history, the cycles of, you know, generations. Generational trauma isn't the word really, because it's not specifically about that, though. It is about, you know, kind of an intergenerational relationship in terms of the relationship between the care worker and this old woman that she's looking after. But the old woman is hiding a really weird, or she's not hiding anything really. It's more the town around her is hiding something really strange. That's just kind of a tradition that's always been there. That's not necessarily embedded in like Catholicism or religion really, but more like, I don't know, like a relationship with paganism or the land, and the sense that these things do kind of occur in cycles. You know, the idea of sacrifice, of making sacrifices, that time just does kind of, you know, like the seasons, like that whole thing about folk horrors is, you know, you're watching the sun, you're watching the cycles of the moon, you know, the fields, like how they change over the season, and then kind of, it's not, you know, explained fully in the movie, like it's not the subject of the movie, but it is really relating to, you know, Irishness and Ireland specifically, I think. In terms of, obviously it's about an isolated community in the Gaeltacht that has, you know, these kind of deep ties to a much older version of Ireland, and obviously about an older woman who's, it's like anyone over a certain age in Ireland today still has ties with, you know, a much older version of Ireland than what actually exists, like what we would know at all. So it's kind of a unique country in that way. And then just, you know, you think about the history of Ireland, it's just bad things constantly happening. It's like no matter what, there's no way to escape from it. And this idea of, you know, like fatalism. It's like even when things are stabilized for a bit, you know, at some point you will have to, you know, you will have to pay the toll. You have to pay the tax.
I never thought about that. I never reflected on the fact, like, man, Irish people, there's constantly bad things happening to us.
Yeah. It's just non-stop. And even like the fact people for hundreds of years took refuge in Catholicism, and now like that's less so of a thing. Particularly like the actual dependence of people on the church as kind of a substitute for the state, and like the state's taken over that role. But you can understand why people sought that refuge in you know, in God and spirituality and some kind of sense of order. Because you know, you think about like the 19th century, it's like things were, you know, like you have Napoleonic Wars, people getting shipped off and like dying, you know, 50,000 people, 100,000 people dying in random wars for foreign countries and never returning. Then you have the famine. Around the time of the famine as well, it's not as mentioned as often, but I remember reading something really weird about it. It's covered in Finnegan's Wake, which I've never read, but it is mentioned. Finnegan's Wake is this really bizarre thing, or as being related to the famine in a kind of I don't know, like a spiritual sense, like a weird kind of synchronicity. It was like the Great Wind of, I think it was 1839 or something, happened a few years before the famine. It was just like a hurricane that swept through Ireland. It's the largest hurricane that ever hit anywhere in Western Europe, as far as I know, and it killed thousands of people. And it's like there's a hurricane, and like people just lived in like huts and stuff. So it just destroyed everything along the west coast. And it's not talked about as much because the famine came like nearly directly after and killed 1 million people. But it's like imagine living in that stretch of time where it's like, you know, your house gets destroyed by a hurricane that no one
just comes,
yeah, and then millions of people die in a famine. And then for decades, like nothing happens to address like anything that's occurred. Like nothing gets better. Like things actually get worse because you know the land still, it's all owned by the same people. Any attempt to assert your own rights is still constantly being pushed back. Like there is that stability, but even when things look like they're starting to get better, like even independence, for example, it's just then shit for ages afterwards. And so I think that's it's a theme in the movie, I think, and the fact that it's specific to Ireland was really interesting. Definitely necessary for a film like this that's really proud of being an Irish movie.
And obviously the language is also part
And
of
the
it as
language,
well.
yeah, and how that ties into like a commentary, not just like the whole Catholic Ireland thing's just been talked to death. But obviously, like, Ireland's a lot older than Catholicism, and its presence here, like, there was stuff happening long before that. And some way that those attitudes do kind of continue on, and our whole attitude to history is very depressing, very pessimistic,
It's very bleak.
very, very bleak.
We're very bleak people.
Yeah, like it's very much like we're constantly waiting for something much worse. Like, even when things are good, it's like things are about to get really, really bad.
Yeah.
Things are about to go to shit. Like, I was always saving things, like the recession. Like, always keep cash on you. Like your grandparents are probably the same. It's always kind of like always prepare for the worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Still memories of the emergency and like the war and all these random things. And I think that is still embedded in like kind of the Irish mind. And how that relates to the spookier side of things with folk horror is an interesting little area to explore. I don't want to spoil the movie, but I think you should watch it.
Oh no, 100%. I'm watching this movie.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I heard the concept folk horror Irish language movie, I'm like, I'm there. Like,
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I don't need to know anything else about the movie. Just like that alone, just hook, line, and sinker.
There you go.
Yeah.
Fréwaka. Go see it.
Yeah, I do. It's also funny when you're saying that, because it made me think about like even like Sinners again, where because like Sinners isn't like a folk horror movie, but it has elements that are folk horror ish, like how important music is to culture and stuff like that, and like just tying you back to the land and the people and community and stuff like that. There's a lot of movies about that at the moment. Specifically, a lot of horror movies talking about how community and people and the land are very important. It's very reflective of the time that we're living in.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, I think like there's a lot of fears, not like on both the right and left of people are coming and taking our fucking land. And I mean, like, in terms of like the right wing is seen like in a fucking nasty way, but on the left it's like, no, this fucking rich fucks are taking stuff away from us and are benefiting off of us, and we're seeing worse and worse of it.
Because it is all about our feeling a sense of possession over the place that you live
and being disconnected from it. Because you just look at like Dublin City and it's like, oh yeah, no gaffs because we keep selling gaffs to vulture funds and we're not using the land properly. Like all those, I keep seeing all this stuff about like all the empty rooms above shops and stuff like that not being used. Like there's land there, the houses are there to be used, but the rules and regulations will not allow it to be used.
Just like the basis of the economy is just asset inflation, asset collection, asset hoarding, which is nothing to do with like life.
Yeah,
like it's nothing to do with like it's not how like normal people actually live their lives. Like they live in houses, they live in communities. They go to the park and they go to the shop and things like that. But the economy is basically no relation to how that works in any way. Dispossession as a theme across universal theme, definitely. I think at the moment more and more building up to something, maybe building up, or just like one of those things is just like a transition over time. That's been a major vibe shift, I think, the last since this podcast started, really. I think we kind of kicked it off.
As soon as we started this podcast, everything went downhill.
No, there really has been since 2020, since like 2019, since 2015, really ish.
I just had a thought because like
last 10 years,
the way that I was describing it, like the fear of like the land and stuff like that. Does horror a lot of the time reflect conservative fears?
Horror,
like horror in general.
Is Halloween not a kind of a conservative movie?
That's what I'm saying. It's reflecting a conservative fears. Like the youth are, out fucking, and they will be murdered because of it.
Yeah, punished by God. Yeah,
I'm saying that now, but we're literally going to talk about the substance later on, which is certainly not a conservative horror. It's definitely
not right wing.
Yeah, definitely not. And
but
like even. Yeah, no, I'm saying that now, but I can think of examples that are the opposite.
I think like kind of, like right wing would be more driven by fear, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Like that's what I would see anyway. Whereas, like a more left wing or progressive view of things would be more about
hope,
and taking things head on, and kind of like everything's fucking horrible, like horror, like even like body horror, not to get the substance or anything like that, but like body horror is just like a universal experience when you grow up or when you grow old. It's just you're always going to.
That's always going to happen.
You just have to get on with it. Like you just have to face it. And maybe the conservative reaction to that is, I don't want to get old, or I don't want to grow up, or like stuff like that, which is infantile and loser behavior.
Yeah, loser behavior.
It's like everything is horrifying. But it's just you just get fucking used to it. Like you just
get on with it.
You learn to enjoy it. That's why we love horror movies. It's interesting.
Yes, yeah. Even again, we literally watched His House like last year. It's certainly not a not a movie that reflects right wing fears.
Yeah. I know, but it's a universal thing. But it's the way people kind of maybe receive it, or how it's embodied. Generally speaking, there's different variants.
It's almost like you can interpret movies differently.
Yeah, and some values or some kind of experiences are just universal, and how you interpret it is based on your beliefs and your ideas. But I think it's a good point.
Yeah, definitely, like a universal fear is when things go bump in the night.
Yeah,
like in Paranormal Activity.
Is this right wing or left wing?
This is like a centrist.
It's a liberal nightmare.
It's a liberal nightmare.
Someone's broken into my home.
And they're making weird noises. Super quickly. I don't know why I just decided to watch Paranormal Activity. I think it's because I was like, I've never seen Paranormal Activity.
Yeah. I've never seen it either.
I've seen Paranormal Activity 2, and it is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Wait, why did you watch the second one but not?
I don't know. I think the second one used to be on Netflix years ago.
Oh, right.
And I watched it. And it was one of the most boring movies I've ever seen in my entire life. And so I was like, I think these movies must be terrible, and I never watched any of the other ones. But then I was like, it's been like literally like 15 years. Maybe I'll watch Paranormal Activity, because that one, like Paranormal Activity really kickstarts the like 2010s found footage craze. Like if you look at like like a Wikipedia page of found footage films, there's a good chunk of them, and there's some like really notable ones. You got Blair Witch, there's Cannibal Holocaust, there's The Last Broadcast, there's Chronicle, which is actually post. That's like 2011 or 2012. It's post Paranormal Activity.
Yeah,
I think Cloverfield might be before. I could be wrong on that, but I think Cloverfield's before this.
Yeah.
But then when Paranormal Activity comes out, it's a movie that costs like $100,000 and makes every money that ever was printed. It makes insane. I think
it's like 300 mil or
something ridiculous like that. So this kickstarts the found footage craze. And like watching it now and just seeing how I like found footage films, but Jesus, they all follow the same template, and I think maybe the template comes from this movie. I think this is where like a lot of the tropes start to form. I always said that Blair Witch also has.
What's the structure?
I'm thinking of like we watched The Devil's Pass.
Yeah.
And that was very similar to we're somewhere, we're lost, start screaming at each other, and then chaos ensues in the latter half of the movie.
Yeah, it really does.
And that's what happens in Blair Witch. But in this one, it's a boyfriend, girlfriend live in a house. Girlfriend's talking about how So she's haunted, and she's always been haunted. And the boyfriend's like, I'm gonna get a camera and just record everything, and record stuff when like he like very clearly shouldn't be recording, like camera in his hand. But then other times it makes a lot more sense because the cameras are set up around the house.
Yeah.
But honestly, like the only thing I need to say about this movie is this movie like nearly doesn't understand what is actually scary about its own concept, because it goes for loud jump scares and stuff like that, which isn't the fear that this movie should. This movie should be way more subtle than it is.
Is it really on the nose? Is it?
Like there's like bits where like there's the scariest part in this movie is where they're in bed or whatever, and then the cover lifts up and like moves, and you can see that there's something going underneath the cover.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's horrible. But then 90% of the movie is just boom, and then they jump up and they scream because just fucking loud noise. Like,
somewhere in the house.
It's somewhere in the house, but it sounds like it's right beside them. There's another scary bit where they leave like salt on the ground, and the boyfriend notices that the footsteps were on the way in, but there's no footsteps going out. And it's just stuff like that type of stuff is
evocative.
Way more evocative.
Yeah.
But most of the film is just like loud screams and like stuff like that. There's even a bit where like the boyfriend gets up into the attic and he picks up the camera and like he like slowly pans around. You're like, ooh, is there gonna be something there?
Yeah. Those are always good.
But again, most of the movie isn't that. There's only like certain moments where this film like shines, and it's almost like you almost had it. Like you almost had the movie that would be like a horror classic, but this movie feels,
because it's not really, is it? Yeah.
It's not. It's too. It's too shitty. It's too.
I feel like loads of people watched it. I was massive at the time, and a really good. Like I remember the ads for it.
The ads are great.
It was like people have killed themselves watching this movie. It's like people have shit themselves in the cinema and all this stuff. And then you see like the reactions from the crowd, and people are like jumping up and down and stuff. But yeah, you don't hear it talked about, in the hollowed hall.
No.
Oh, that was an amazing movie.
And yeah, like Blair Witch, like is a horror classic.
Yeah, people still talk about that.
Yeah.
But
this one doesn't get the same reverence, because it's not really that good. Like, it's not that good. I watched the alternative ending, which is there's two endings to this movie. One is the one which I think was the theatrical release, where I think what happens is that the woman is like fully possessed, and the movie ends with the boyfriend being thrown into the camera, and then the camera like snaps or whatever, and then you hear a noise. The alternative ending is that she leaves the room, screams, he goes after her, he starts screaming, and then she comes up the stairs covered in blood, walks up with the camera, slits her own throat, and then movie ends.
They're both pretty bad.
Yeah. They're both like pretty shy.
I feel like if you didn't see her slit her own throat, that would be a decent ending.
It's almost like the movie should have ended with like screaming downstairs, and then you just cut and like, they were lost. Then no one knows what happened to them.
Yeah.
But both endings explicitly show what happened, and like leaves no room for I wonder whatever happened.
Yeah. The demon was like, I need to get this on camera.
Oh yeah, I need to show.
Yeah.
I need to show you, the audience, what I'm doing.
I need people to know what happened here, otherwise I don't get the credit.
And there's also like there should be more stuff about like the being scared of the dark, because the dark is scary, but again the film like doesn't utilize that enough. I didn't realize this. I feel like Skinamarink is like way more influenced by this movie than like any other horror film, because Skinamarink is about the fear of the dark and like is kind of a found footage film, and it's way more slow than this movie. But I watched this movie and I was like, oh man, I can see that how Skinamarink evolved from this. I made a way more pretentious artsy movie, but it's way more scary than this.
Yeah. Skinamarink is that's a good movie on your.
I would
books,
say
isn't it?
it's like a movie that I really like shit myself watching.
Yeah.
When I was talking to Liam in work, and he had the similar experience where the first hour is agonizingly boring.
Yeah.
But eventually it like if it gets its hooks into you in the second half, it is like like one of the best horror films of the last like 10 years.
Oh, that's good.
More, maybe even more. Probably one of the best horror films of this decade.
Yeah, yeah.
If it works on you. If it doesn't work on you, it is a complete bore and you will just think it's completely shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't really argue. If it doesn't affect you the way it wants to, it's shite.
Yeah, I've
Which I feel like you can say about any film, but
yeah. If you don't like it, you know, you're gonna think it's a bit shit. No, but I've people have told me that they really didn't like it. I'm like, but my friend Owen really liked it. They're like how could you, how could you? It's so boring. It's just it's a waste of time. And I don't know what it is because I haven't seen it. But like, it's like there must be something to it. I just know it's more of an artsy.
You gotta watch it.
You have to meditate.
You gotta watch it in the dark.
Yeah,
you have
watch it
and watch it.
Yeah,
and like get sucked into the vibe of the movie, and suffer through it. And then once it gets to a bit where someone's like, "What's underneath the bed?" Hopefully you get it, but
yeah.
Hopefully it get not that you get it, it gets you.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Because there's no like, oh, I need to understand this movie. It's whether or not the movie affects you or not.
Themes of Skinamarink. Yeah. Well, it sounds good. Sounds cool. I don't know when I'd watch it, but because my TV isn't big enough to watch it in my room. I can't watch it downstairs, so that'd be weird.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's the type of movie you have to watch on like a big TV. I watch it on like a kind of like. I feel like this fucking go watch it on the old TV.
Yeah, but I feel like if I actually watched it in the dark in my room on the smaller TV, it'd be even creepier. It'd be like too creepy, Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean.
How did you watch it?
I watched it here.
Yeah.
I watched it in my room, wrapped up in my bed, and then afterwards, like I wanted the lights on.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That sounds good. Yeah, I have to look into that.
That's what like Paranormal Activity like should have been, a more manageable, attainable. What's the word I'm looking for? Digestible version of Skinamarink, but it's not very good.
That's a shame.
And it's like meant to be the best Paranormal Activity as well.
Yeah, there's like 7 of them, isn't it?
There is so many of them.
I don't even know when they came out.
Oh, I
remember 1, 2, 3. I don't remember any of the others.
Man, I was looking at the page. I did not realize how like long this fucking franchise is. There is like I think 7 or 8 of them. We got Paranormal Activity, Paranormal Activity 2, Paranormal Activity 3, 4, Next of Kin, The Marked Ones, and The Ghost Dimension.
I feel like I remember The Ghost Dimension being advertised.
I feel like that's like The Ghost Dimension is a terrible.
Yeah, it's a terrible name. The Ghost Dimension. That sounds like one of the fake movies they have in like The Sopranos or whatever. It's like the movie within the movie or.
They stopped coming out in 2015. 2015 is the last one. But they came out once a year. Oh no, wait, sorry, I'm lying. Next of Kin came out 2021.
I don't remember that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
The Activity is Reborn is the fucking subtitle.
The Activity is Reborn. What? The Activity is Reborn.
And they're all like they're all the exact same, but
it was on Paramount Plus. That's why we never heard of it.
Yeah, Jesus, that's. I think they must all also be found footage movies, found footage. And I'm presuming as well that they must also because I think the first 4 or 5, whichever number it is, I think they all follow the same family essentially.
Yeah.
Because in this one, it's one girl, and the second one is her sister, and then the third one is them as little kids.
Mm-hmm.
Which kind of doesn't make any sense because she didn't realize that she was obviously the third one is a found footage film with footage of them being haunted as kids.
Yeah.
So why didn't she have the footage from I don't know, it doesn't matter. Anyway. I'm not watching this.
Yeah, who was recording?
I'm not watching that fucking franchise.
Why wasn't she aware of being recorded? Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, no, not good. We go for break.
Yeah.
And now on to our recommended film of the episode. Whoops, stood on something there. The Substance 2024, directed by Kali Farja.
Kali Farja.
then that guy's gonna say it there. Yes,
Julian.
Fading actress Elizabeth Sparkle becomes distressed when her chauvinistic boss fires her from her aerobics show. She soon injects herself with a mysterious serum that promises a younger, better version of herself, but things go wrong horribly.
Oh.
And they do. Things go pretty bad.
Yeah. They kind of take a bit of a left turn. The deal, it's still, what was it, Faustian bargain. The deal.
Yeah, deal with the devil.
He always comes back and he asks for something more. He's not a reliable deal maker. The devil.
No, definitely not.
There's always trade-offs. That's the moral of this story.
Yeah, there's always trade-offs.
Yeah.
Every deal has a trade-off.
Yeah. It's about deals.
Yeah, so where do we start with this movie? So movie is, as we said, it's about actress Elizabeth. Sparkle just came to my brain. I was like, what the hell's her name? Elizabeth. Demi Moore. And man, the start of this movie was like such a perfect setup. Who's the guy that plays the boss?
Dennis Quaid.
God,
he's great.
Damn, he's so good in this
he's
movie.
Because he hasn't been in a good role. The last big movie he was in, it wasn't even a big movie. It's the Ronald Reagan biopic, where he played Ronald Reagan.
Oh yeah, he did.
An American hero. But yeah, he kills it with this one. This was originally cast as Ray Liotta. He was supposed to be. That would have been great.
That also would have worked.
I think he did do the part for 3 months and then he died. So they had to reshoot it. But yeah, he's really good. Really good as Harvey.
Yeah.
Wink, wink. The kind of the scumbag boss. So
I want you looking great. I want pretty girls smile.
Pretty girls always smile. He's brilliant. Brilliant in this
role.
So
like over the top and extreme.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then Demi Moore, she's just even the opening shot of this movie immediately tells you what this film is about. You got the star on the Hollywood Boulevard being made, and it looks gorgeous and glitz and glam, and everyone loves it at the start, and everyone's taking photos at it, and then slowly but surely it just becomes something that people walk over. It gets cracked. It's not looked after anymore. Someone spills like burger sauce all over it, and then it's just left there, and it's just there. All the beauty of it was sucked up and taken away.
Mm-hmm.
And then we cut to Demi Moore, and Demi Moore's doing her show, her aerobic show, and she goes down this super long corridor and is like walking past, like it starts, the first like image that you see, or she walks down the corridor and there's all these posters lining the hallway. The first one you see is her when she's young, and she keeps walking down further and further and further. It's her aging. She goes into the toilet, and then she hears Harvey being like, "We need a hot new woman to take this over because
she's too old."
She's too old, and thus starts the really sad downfall of Elizabeth Sparkle, as she takes the substance and creates a new version of herself, and that I love as well. The way that it keeps saying, there are no two, it is you. There's only one version of yourself, and you got to remember there's only one version of yourself.
You are one, and
you have to follow these rules, or else bad things will happen. And inevitably bad things happen because she starts to disassociate between the different versions of herself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How does she find the substance again? Is that guy gives her a random guy gives her like a card,
she crashes the car, and then the guy feels her spine. He's like, you'd make a good... He can see the sadness in her, and he's like, you would make a good candidate. And he gives her the card.
Yeah. And then it's like a fucking was it Fresh? The delivery service.
Yeah,
what the fuck is that called?
Hello Fresh.
It's like Hello Fresh. Yeah, they just like deliver to like her PO box this mysterious serum which she can use to transport herself. Well, not transport herself, to become young. But yeah, it's a there's the trade off. It's no immediate trade off, but the trade off is psychological. Yeah, it's psychological over time. It's 1 week on, 1 week off. 1 week where she's she's old. She's not that old. 1 week where she's very young and glamorous. And then but yeah, it's like the allure of being young and glamorous again is always a temptation. It's too hard to resist, and that's where she starts to she gets a bit frazzled.
Mm-hmm.
It begins her downfall. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie.
Same.
I really enjoyed this movie. I like the aesthetic as well.
This is an incredibly shot movie.
It's really well. Yeah, it's really well made. It's really nice to look at. I thought when I watched it that it was like purposely done in a kind of, I don't know, like kind of a low budget way, but it's not. It actually was it's a low budget movie. There's only like 3 actors really.
Yeah, there's not many people in this movie.
Yeah, there's just young her, old her,
and there's not many locations either.
Yeah, it's mainly her apartment.
Yeah,
and yeah, it's mainly just her apartment and the dance studio, and the toilet where she does all her transforming and stuff.
Yeah. Oh man, as soon as I saw that white toilet, I was like, this thing's gonna get bloody.
Yeah. This is designed, specifically for contrast.
If there's ever a white room in a horror movie, no, that is gonna be splattered with some fluid that is a different color.
Yeah.
It's either gonna be red or it's gonna be shit. It's one or the other.
Yeah. I can't remember a horror movie where the white room gets covered in shit.
Probably happens somewhere. It's definitely a movie.
Yeah, there definitely is some kind of movie like that. But yeah, no, it's a great little movie. And yeah, we didn't see this at the time. We didn't watch this when it came out last year.
I don't know why I didn't.
Yeah, because I remember I never heard, oh, this is amazing, you have to see it. So like usually if that doesn't happen and I'm not immediately like I want to see this, I usually don't go to see the movie, But I obviously it was with the Oscars as well. It was nominated quite a few times.
Demi Moore probably should have won. She's so good in this movie.
Yeah, who won that in the end? Some bullshit fucking historical movie or something.
Who won Best Actress last year?
Who won Best Actress?
I know Cillian Murphy won Best Act. No, he didn't. He won the year before. Who won Best Actor this year as well?
Yeah, I don't even know. Best Actress.
Oh, it was your one from Menorah.
Mikey Madison. Yeah. That's it. I haven't seen that, but I don't really want to see it.
I know it's Sean Baker. It's probably good, but I don't know.
Yeah, Adrian Brody, he won Best Actor.
Oh, for The Brutalist. Oh yeah, and he gave that super long speech.
Yeah, like the movie.
Yeah, and the Oscars were probably dirt this year.
Yeah, this movie should have won more because it's original. And well made, well acted.
Its message is also like as obvious as the branding of the substance, like packaging.
Yeah.
It's like this movie is because like it really super is about like women having to follow beauty standards and losing their capitalistic value as they get older because they you can't make money off your looks anymore, so you're not really wanted. And also, you haven't had any children, so therefore you also lose value. That sense. Need to stress that this is there's quotation marks when I say value here. And like the bit that I found this film like really just like it's gross and like the body horror is excellent and we can talk about that in a bit, but I just think this movie is so sad. Like Demi Moore's character Elizabeth is so sad. It's a woman that had like this whole career and was wildly successful and is now done what everyone does, has aged, and the people don't want her anymore. They want something, and it's even like when she turns into Sue, it's way hornier.
Oh yeah.
Like it is just shots of her ass constantly. It's like completely objectifying her.
Yeah, and it's like you want to say this is a really horny movie, but it's not.
It's not.
It's really not. It's kind of like Showgirls.
It's I felt
it's like
voyeuristic.
Yeah, it's voyeuristic. It's making being like nearly pornographic for the sake of making a point rather than whoa look at her ass or whatever. It's like this is you're more conscious of.
Don't get me wrong. It's a good ass.
Yeah. We're not disputing that.
No, no arguments there.
We can't argue that. But like, yeah, it's you're more conscious of the fact that the camera is framed the way it is, the fact that it's lingering where it is, how it contrasts to the rest of the movie, which is just kind of normal. Like how the camera treats her versus how the camera treats the story. Margaret Qualley, yeah.
Her name.
And how the camera treats the younger version of her relative to the older version of her as well. Yeah, it's way more. Yeah, it's about the objectification of women and how that kind of becomes, you know, social capital and like actual, you know, kind of an economic way of making a living. And there's the fact that she is completely alone as well. She has no clear family ties, no friends. You know, she's already bought in completely to this. Like, she's already sunk everything in. So the problems don't begin when she takes, you know, the substance. They've already been
the psychological
encoded.
problems are there.
Yeah, they're there to begin with. Like the fact, you know, from the beginning when she got into, you know, you can imagine that she was like Sue, like just kind of getting swept up in the stardom or whatever. Like that's the point when the soul is sold, rather than when you try to go back to that and just face the wall. You just can't, you know. Yeah, it's a pretty sad movie in that sense.
Yeah,
but it's very stimulating.
Oh yeah,
it's not like, oh, this is so fucked up. It's like, whoa, that's really fucked up, you know. It's like that kind of way.
Yeah, though, like. So yeah, eventually, like it's you have 7 days to be the younger version of yourself, and then you gotta switch back, and then she starts taking more time as the younger version of herself, and it starts off with just like her finger looking like old and like fucked up and like too big for her hand, and then she keeps taking more time, and then it's her leg, and then when she's younger, she's like, oh, I'm just taking like 3 months worth of like time off of the older version of her. And then she's like this, like weathered, like fucking Quasimodo looking thing.
Yeah.
And then I thought that was the peak of it. I thought that's like as much body horror as we're going to get.
Yeah.
And then we get, this is one thing I didn't like super like about the film. Is I think the messaging of the film is super clear. I also think like a lot of the dialogue like really stands out, and like it's very bold and like tells like as in like bold writing, telling you things, and the film I feel like feels the need to like repeat dialogue and show you things again that like kind of just happened, for you to understand what's happening. Like the bit where like, so it's when she's Sue and she's like, she starts to completely decompose because she has murdered Elizabeth. And she decides, I'm going to take the substance. As the copy, I'm going to take the substance. And it keeps, for some reason, showing you one-time use, one-time use, one-time use. You can only use this once, one-time use. And it like repeats the voice as well. So like, you can only use this once. Like, I got it. I understand.
Yeah.
I didn't need to be told that like 50 times in like 3 seconds. And it's even just like dialogue in it that repeats like, oh, we love you so much, you're great. I understand what the movie's saying. I don't need it to repeatedly keep saying it.
But
yeah, then she turns into a Monstro Elizasu or something like that.
Yeah, Monstro Elizasu. I actually watched Spy Kids this week. It reminds me of, you know, the drawing that they turned Antonio Banderas into.
Yes.
Kind of reminded me of that.
Have you seen Society?
Society, no.
The Brian Yunzo film. Yunza?
No.
Okay, right. You should watch that movie. Because that's a bit of this. There's a lot of this movie in that movie. That's
Society the movie.
It's and again like it's like not subtle, but what it's saying.
Yeah. This movie isn't subtle at all. But like it's really like it's bold, you know.
I think a lot of body horror films aren't subtle because it's like you're visibly seeing what the film is talking about.
Yeah, it's very visceral. But like I think I kind of how like the distinction between a film like this and say Cronenberg or whatever is the films are typically or like pretty much always, except for like maybe the really early stuff, about other things. Like, you know, the relationship with media and television, or the relationship with body modification, not necessarily related to, you know, self-image, and like transhumanism and things like that. But yeah, there's always that visceral elements. This is a very visceral movie. It's specifically about, I think, body image and feminism, and you know, the commodification of the body,
Yes.
things like that. You know, how you sell. She's essentially selling her body or her image, and then it depreciates the value naturally, as all bodies do, and then it's just trying to fight that, fight a natural process, like an inevitable process. And what happens when you do try to do that? But it's very in your face about it. But that's the style of the movie. It's not like, well, this is what we're talking about the entire time. You know, like, it's not like,
yeah, you have that scene where she's
not
talking,
being preachy, or it's not treating like an idiot.
yeah,
You know,
like you have that scene where she's talking to the guy in the cafeteria or cafe, or wherever the fuck she is, and he's like, oh yeah, it started, hasn't it? Like, this is the week is, you just end up living just for that 1 week of being loved, enjoyed, and then the other week is just like, you never felt more lonely. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, and that's like that's the real you know. Yeah.
Yeah, that is you have that scene as well where, like, at the start of the movie, she like bumps into a guy that she knew from class, and you're like, this guy's a fucking weirdo. He's a fucking freak. And he gives her his number, and then later on in the movie, when she's like, I don't need to be Sue to feel like loved and beautiful, I just need to, like,
A companion in my actual life.
And like, I want to hear someone tell me that I'm beautiful, because she feels really ugly because of all the things that have happened to her. And she's gonna go on a date with him, and then she looks great, she looks lovely, she looks gorgeous, and then she walks outside and she sees the billboard that has been made of Sue outside for her new show, just looking back into her apartment, and she looks at it, and she feels like she's not worth it, and goes back in and tries on her makeup again, and then walks back out, and she almost leaves. She almost fucking leaves. And then she stops, and she comes back in, and she does her makeup again, and then wipes off all the fucking makeup, and then just spends the night eating food alone in the dark.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that, but
it's so sad.
Yeah, that's a very grim scene. Yeah. Yeah, I think that illustrates the isolation as well. She doesn't have any friends. She doesn't have anyone to go to. She doesn't have any family. She's been dedicated to this her entire life. Like, she's already been living her entire life as essentially somebody else, you know? So then when she loses the TV gig, she doesn't have anything to return to. There's no base, there's no default. So it's like trying to escape into that previous personality, which she can't get back to at all. And any attempt to get out of it, any attempt to actually, you know, spread roots in her real life, it just doesn't work, because it's always being compared to what was and what could be, and, you know, it's bleak.
It's so bleak.
Pretty bleak. Yeah, that scene is just, it's very.
And then the ending is just like, it's
sad.
like, then when they turn into Monstro Eliza Sue.
How does she come back?
What?
Because she's killed.
She gets merged out of the back, because it's the Monstro Sue is the combination of the two of them. So she comes back through the monster. And I love that bit where, like, it's like the New Year Eve, like, special, whatever, and the monster walks out on stage, and it's like, this is the monster that these people have created.
Yeah.
And they're not even aware that they've created this monster, and it's like shown, fully displays them, like, what they have, what they've done, and they reject it entirely, and they attack it, and then the monster, like, kind of fights back. Not even fights back, like, just, like, starts spraying blood everywhere, and they're just showered in the blood of this woman that they have destroyed.
Yeah, and they try to kill it, and it just grows back.
Yeah, just keeps going.
You know, it's like that Goosebumps episode where it's like, you know, the slime monster, but it's like the more you're afraid of it, or the more you fear it, it's just gonna keep growing. You know,
getting bigger.
It's like everyone's aware of that. Everyone's aware that these things are like that. That the movie is about a real thing. You know. But no one's gonna do anything about it. Like, no one's ever gonna actually.
We have recognized the issue, but we are not fixing it.
Yeah, like, this is terrible. This is monstrous. Anyway, you know,
profits are up.
Let's just move on. Yeah, that scene is I feel like there's loads of movies nowadays that where it ends in like just blood being sprayed everywhere.
Yeah.
What's that about?
I don't know.
I feel like that's
Like
kind
blood.
of a default. I feel like the movie could have ended a bit differently.
I also think that, but I love the actual like ending because then it ends with her face on the star at the start of the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And she like is seeing like
And the splatter
she's seeing like stars, and she's like, "Oh, I'm finally
among the
stars," and then she dissolves, and then she's just cleaned off the footpath, and that's it. That's how the movie ends. It's like, wow, that's really fucked up and sad.
Yeah. It's good though.
It's a tragic
It's
movie,
good.
but it is so
Tragic.
good. And
Yeah.
Dennis Quaid is like really fucking funny in this movie.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. I didn't think he had it in him, but I didn't even know he was in this movie. I thought he just kind of, passed away career-wise. He became it's kind of because
It's the same thing for men.
it's the same. Men actually face the same issues. Well, it's just never talked about. Harvey has his own story, which obviously isn't covered.
Jesus. Well, we leave it at that.
We'll leave it there. Yeah.
Do you have our recommended film for episode 154? Jesus, I was going to say 34. I'm way off.
No.
No, we don't. Okay, right.
No, I don't. I have it. American movie. It's a 1999 movie about a guy called Mark who struggles in his creative ambitions. It's about me. It's about me. 1-year-old me. No, it's an American movie, obviously, about a working class American filmmaker who is struggling to make a low budget horror movie, which he wants to make just to fund a more serious drama passion project, and all his kind of mishaps and misadventures along the way. So I've read a few good things about it. I think we'll enjoy it.
I'm hoping this is like another like Gates of Heaven.
Like a really sad movie.
No,
He's still
it's
knocking around.
Like just like a movie that you like I've like vaguely heard of. That you recommend, like, this is one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Hopefully it's good. So yeah, we'll watch that for the next episode.
Sounds good.
Cool. Happy
Right.
days.
Good night. God bless.
Bye.